San Diego, California, comes MC and performing artist Ray Riley. He's an incredible talent, one of the emerging talents to watch in hip hop today. We're going to bring him in and talk to him about his recent projects and future plans. Let's bring him in. Peace, my bro. How you doing?
Hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Very good, man. I want to make sure everything is good. Trying to get my squared away. Hold on, man. Let me.
Yeah, my
Here we
brother.
go.
It's an honor to have you on the Cristopolis show. You are an incredible talent, my bro. You're an incredible talent, truly. Like there's certain people that got the sauce, and I go through and I listen to your discography and I'm like, this kid's special. Like it's gonna happen. And I'm not sure how, when, you know what I'm saying? Probably soon, because you've been killing them. Last year you hit them with two projects. You just dropped a new single. Talk to us about the new single, Drive Slow.
Slow, man. That's the most recent single that's been released. I've been doing singles once a month, every month this year. But yeah, Drive Slow, man, is really just more of a reflective joint for me, man. It's really like, just kind of taking time back and almost kind of hitting the brakes a little bit just to kind of look around and be like, okay, this is where I am as a man today. You know what I mean? Like right now, I get so caught up in the work and just my head is just down in the dirt, just trying to get to it. I very rarely look up and I'm like, oh man, like this, look how far I've come
Yeah.
in this journey, right? So that's really what that is. It's really just like a reflective joint. Something that people hopefully can relate to.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot of messages where people can relate to certain points within the track. So yeah, man, that's what that is though. It's a reflective one for sure.
That's dope. You were mentioning that you've been releasing a steady stream of singles. Talk to us about what your plans are for 2025. You came off of an incredible 2024, right? It's not for everybody and Rookie of the Year, right? And then in 2025, you're going with a different strategy of hitting them with singles. Talk to us about, what your plans are in regards to like a project and the body of work and all of that.
To be honest, man, I wanted to try something different. I feel like I put out I couldn't even tell you. I want to say like 10 or 11 full length projects, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to try something different this time. I wanted to still continue to put together the quantity of work, but release it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as you know, consumption nowadays is different, right? It could be the top of the top, right? You know what I'm saying? Drake could put out a 15-song album, and how consumption works nowadays is very rare somebody's gonna sit there and listen to all 15 songs, right? I mean, we hear it all the time. So even myself included, right? This the energy and the attention span is shortened. So I'm like, okay, well let's try something new and see how it works. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's down to listen to one song. I hear from an artist I look to, um, Russ is an artist that I'm a big fan of, and he says that, right? He's like, everybody's down to listen to one song. So try to implement that strategy. So far, man, it's been going good. So we're just gonna continue to plug away, keep pushing, and just go from there. See, just throw stuff at the wall, see what works and what don't work.
Yeah, Russ drops gems often.
That's a guy that I look to for sure. He's definitely one that I appreciate. Just the sheer just bluntness and honesty
Yeah.
about everything. Um, but not he's a guy that I look to for sure. A lot of artists that I look to, I study it, man. You know what I'm saying? I study it, I pay attention, I listen, I sit back and I learn, and I try to take pieces where I can, and I try to implement them in my own way. So
Yeah.
he's somebody that I look to in that regard for sure.
Yeah. What is your it's still early in the year, but what is you've been doing projects and releasing projects and doing a lot of performances, and then now you're doing this strategy where you're dropping singles and visuals and social media content to go with the singles. Um, do you feel that that's kind of working? Is it different? Are you having a different reaction versus when you drop, like a full length versus, the one song approach?
so far is the reach has been wider, right? When I say that, I mean dropping one song at a time. It's almost like it makes it easier for new fans, in my experience so far, to
Yeah,
come in. You know what I mean? Versus, I think the projects and the full length projects are great for the ones that are already here. You know what I'm saying? Ray
yeah,
Riley fans, I mess with Ray Riley. I'm a fan. If he drops something, I'm gonna tap in and check it out, and that's great. And you always want to cater to your people. I feel like with this strategy we're doing this year, I'm able to get newer and new fans. You know what I'm saying? At least that's so far. That's what I'm seeing, right? So
yeah.
it's been effective in that sense for sure. So like I said, man, but it's a process, right? It's all learning experience. It's all bumping your head against the wall and seeing what works and what don't work, right? You
Yeah.
know, trying different strategies, trying this. Oh, I like this when I did it this way. I didn't like this when I did it that way, and then just trying it a different way on the next run. So that's all it is, man. And we just gonna continue to plug away and keep pushing and figure out what works and what don't
That's
work.
dope, man. And the other thing about you, I think that's kind of unique is that you have a lot of variety, right? So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like the last album, This Ain't For Everybody, right? That album, I didn't know why it was called that at first, but then when I like listened to it in depth, I'm like, this is a very different album than Rookie of the Year and other work, right? Like you're showing a lot of variety, a lot of dope, like radio, maybe like more dance, more like different environments versus giving them that work. You know what I'm saying? Which you're also incredible at, right? Talk to us about that variety of different genres and subgenres within urban music that you are good at many of them.
Appreciate that. Me and my pops talk about it all the time, man. We talk about a thing that I take pride in is I'm able to dribble with both hands. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get busy with the real hip hop heads, the spitters. You know what I'm saying? And I could also make a song. You know, and I think that's where it kind of. It's always. I don't want to say it's always that case, but a lot of times you either get one or the other,
Yeah,
right? So for me, I take pride in that. Um, One, just because I'm a human, right? So I'm not always trying. I'm not always in that.
yeah,
I'm compared. I'm the best. You know, I'm not always in that mode. Like sometimes I want to talk to a girl. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to kick back and reflect on life. Sometimes I want to. I have different emotions, right? So that's what the music really is. It's. I even say it, man. It's therapy, man. It's not just verses for me. This is all therapeutic for me, you know. And I have those moments where, yeah, I'm gonna stomp anybody, and I want to be the guy. I want to compete, right? But then I also have moments where I'm like, man, like I'm sitting back looking at life like this is, you know, talking about my journey and whatnot. So, yeah, man, I take pride in it, and I actually have a joint coming out this month, at the end of this month, called Walls Down, which is funny you brought it up because it's a totally different type of sound versus background and drive slow and all them joints. It's a whole different joint. So going back to being able to dribble with both hands, right? It's just something that I take pride in because I mean I'm just making music that I like to listen to, you know. And sometimes I'm not always on that. Sometimes I want to hear the when other times I don't, you know. So
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at with it, man.
yeah. It's like I think a lot of us like lyrical underground hip hop, and we also like um, you know, uh, a Tribe Called Quest. That's also lyrical, but it's kind of like more like a different energy, more soulful, more jazzy. You got tracks like Wait For Me, right? And that one has like it's a hip hop song, and it's but it's not that lyrical. It's like it feels good, and it's got like really you know energy like what's the name of the group? It's the Far Side. It's got like a little Far Side vibe to it. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure,
That
for
SoCal
sure.
vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
really a
yeah.
real good. You could put it on at the beach. You know what I'm saying? You could put it on cruising on a sunny day. Really dope song.
Man. Yeah, like I said, it just goes back to really just making what I feel in the moment, right? You know, it's really think about it too much. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's whatever I'm feeling is what I want to make. You know, and if I sit back and I make it and I enjoy it and I like it, I'm gonna put it out. You know, that's another thing I noticed a lot. A lot of artists I run into, they tend to sit on all their stuff for, I don't know how long, a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, and by the time it comes down to release it, you no longer have that feeling that you once had when you made it. So I've experienced that before where I felt something. Oh man, this joint is crazy, right? And then you wait and sit on it for 6 months, almost to a year, and it don't feel the same. So for me, I'm like, yo, if I'm feeling it and I like it, it's going out. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I've been approaching it, at least lately, for sure. So that's the approach, man. And I'm just making what I feel.
That's dope. That's dope. It's very personal. It's really what you're releasing is where you're at that moment.
Diary entries, man, and naturally, like naturally on a day to day, I'm an introverted person, right? I don't talk a lot. I'm very observant. I listen. I don't really speak too much. So when I'm able to make records like this and put them out, it's me being able to be vulnerable, and it's easier for me that way, where I can be vulnerable and I can share pieces of my life with everybody, which I enjoy doing, and I enjoy getting those messages back from people saying they can relate to this specific song or relate to this specific topic. To me, that's everything, because like I said, naturally, I'm not out here. I'll come, I'm kind of this more the quiet, reserved dude, but I'm able to be that when I'm putting together these songs and releasing them, and it feels good, man. So, 100%.
That's dope. That's dope. You gave a an analogy of dribbling with both hands, but you have a sports background, right? Can you share that with us?
Football, man. I was a ball player for my whole life, since the age of 4 all the way till 22 when I graduated college. That's really that's really what I wanted to do, right? Like music was like, oh, okay, music, that's dope. Pops did it back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like that's cool, but I'm gonna go to the NFL, right? And so as you go along, you start to realize like that's not gonna be the case. But I will say I was never really in love with the sport as much as I am with this here. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So, yeah. So, but not to say that football made me who I am today. So I'm forever grateful for it. And the reason why is because it taught me the value of hard work, right? And I know it sounds cliche and you hear it all the time, but
Yeah,
it's the
no.
truth. Like it's the truth 100%. Like football taught me how to continue to keep going even if you don't get the result you want to get right away. And it also showed me what it looks like when you work and you bust your behind, and
Yeah.
I was able to see the results of, oh man, me and my boy was working out all summer, and y'all was pizza parties, sleepovers, this that da da da, and it comes season time, and we night and day over
Yeah.
y'all, right? So I was able to see what hard work can do, right? And I was also able to see what it feels like when you bust your behind and things don't work out your way. What are you gonna do then, right? And a lot of people tap out, throw in the towel, quit, it's over with. I continue to persevere, and that's something I thank my pops for, to the ultimate power, because we don't quit around here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So bust your behind, and you still second string, right? You bust your behind in practice, you only get 4 reps. You do what you got to do, and you don't get no touches during the game, whatever the case is. We're not gonna come out here and quit. We're gonna keep working, right? And that created it developed like a callus within me to where I just took everything I learned from football over to music. And it's the
So
same deal. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You see a lot of these guys who go at it for years and years and they don't get what they want. And then, man, I'm done. So it's, to me, I have the same football mentality. I brought it to music. It's the same deal. We're going to keep working, and we're going to keep working and keep working and keep working until we get what we want. And if we don't get what we want, we're going to keep working until we get what we want. So that's what I developed, man. And like I said, man, football, it made me who I am today. So I'm forever grateful for the sport, for sure.
that's dope. That analogy is so I think so valuable because the people can have a lot of talent, and I heard the quote somewhere that um, hard work beats talent every day, every time. It takes it outside, it beats it up, and it takes talent's lunch money. You know what I'm saying?
100%, man. And I've learned that the hard way. I've learned it. Like I said, football taught me that to the 10th power. So now I just brought everything I learned from that, which I dedicated my life to, right? 20 years. And now I'm bringing it over to the music. And this is something I'm passionate about doing, you know? So I have that same mentality. And I think that's something that is an advantage that I look at as an advantage to myself in this space, you know, from the people who may not have necessarily experienced something like that, right? Everybody has their own journey, but for me, that is something that I look at like, okay, that's an advantage for me. I was able to experience all these things and transfer to the music space in the same way, even though we in music, you know, it's the same, still the same deal.
Yeah. And there's another aspect of hip hop that has some parallels with football and with sports in general, which is the competitiveness of it. Can you talk about kind of that parallel also?
Fun part for me, right? Right? I mean, I've grown up. I'm been competing my entire life, right? I've always been the guy who's gonna rise to the occasion when it comes to competition, right? Like that's just how I am by nature, you know. So, and music is the same way, right? Everybody wants to be the best. Everybody wants to be the guy, and that makes me get up, you know. And I love it. I love the competition. I love when I feel like there's other dudes around me that I'm like, okay, he's getting after it. He's working. He's working. All right, watch this. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron, you know? So that's always been my mentality. That's always going to be my mentality. Even when I watch it from the honchos, right? Like from Drake and Kendrick going at it. Like to me, that is exciting. Like I like competition, man.
Yeah.
I like to see it. I like to be a part of it because it just breeds, it breeds sharpens iron, man. It brings the best out of you, you
Yeah.
know. So it's been like that my whole life. I've had to compete my whole life for everything, you know. So I've been around it. My friends are like that. My pops is the same way, you know. So like I said, that this brings the best out of you, though. So and this is fun, man. I like the competition,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. So that's another of the music that I love too. That's just like you said, it's a parallel between sports and music, right? So
Yeah.
100%,
Yeah,
yeah.
and having that sports background, I think, is in a lot of ways a competitive advantage for you in this game. So
Absolutely, 100%,
yeah,
1,000%. You're right. Yeah.
and keeping with that kind of sports theme, you have another dope album, which is Rookie of the Year. Talk to us, and an incredible song too, right? So you've got the album with the cool cover, right? It's like a rookie card, right? And then you got an amazing song with a really dope music video. Talk to us about that project.
The year was really Rookie of the Year was really mainly when I was making it and putting it together. I was really making it with the hip hop heads in mind, right? I was really thinking like, okay, listen, man, like I have a lot of projects where I've been personal. I've taken it here, I've taken it there. Rookie of the Year, I want to show what my pen can really do at this point in time, you know. So that was really what it was, right? Is myself to try different things and also uh, hey, I'm here with it, you know. So, rookie of the year, I got my man Speaker Box to jump on the intro. That was amazing. He did his thing to the 10th power on the first joint of that. And Jobs Not Finished is actually the joint that really rang off. That one is the excuse me is the joint on the whole project. And that one was really just me being right? Just me telling my story, how I got started, how I feel, right? I've been racking my brain. I'm trying to understand how they still sleeping on me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that's just me being vulnerable, right? I'm talking about putting the mic in my closet and moving the clothes because I don't have money to afford studio
Yeah,
time, you know, and that joint resonated with a lot of people, you know. So Rookie of the Year is definitely one of I believe to be one of my best bodies of work. But yeah, man, that was really just in mind. I had the hip hop heads in mind, right? I didn't really have the masses. I was like, nah, I wanted this one is for the dudes, the spitters who really are looking into and listening to the bars, you know.
yeah,
So that's what that was. Um, yeah, and then this ain't for everybody is obviously the title speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? You go back to that and it's like, listen, man, this ain't for everybody. This was for me. You know,
Yeah,
so but Rookie of the Year was that. Rookie of the Year was for a specific demographic of people, and Jobs Not Finished just happened to just transcend into some a different space that I did not expect it to. So
yeah,
I was happy with that overall for sure.
yeah. That's dope. Yeah, such a dope project. Jobs Not Finished is a really dope song. And the other joint was Where You At Boy. That joint goes hard.
And now, where you at, boy? Was shout out to my man Rick Scales, man. I was sitting on that one for a minute actually. So I have recorded that one actually a couple years ago,
Wow.
and I listened to it. Yeah, and it was one of those I sat on, and I was like, right. And then I gave it to Rick, and he did his thing on it, and I was like, okay, this got to go on there, you know.
Dope.
So definitely a dope one. Like I said, shout out to my man Rick Scales. He's a huge, um, and I respect him for sure. So that's one of the guys I respect out here. So shouts out to him for making that happen.
That's dope. You mentioned when we were talking about sports and your background in sports, the discipline, but also how you came up in a home where you don't quit around there. That's not something you were taught and raised to have to overcome adversity, to have grit. But it just so happens that you also come from a lineage of hip hop. You come from a lineage of rappers, right? Can you talk to us about that story of growing up in a household where where pops could rap?
That's really what it was, man. Legion of Doom, right? LOD. That's the first hip hop group in San Diego. My pops was a part of that, right? MC Willie Will. That's really where it all started, you know. And like I said, I've always been around it. It was never like, yo, I'm gonna be making music. This is what I'm gonna do. But I was always around it, and I was always infatuated with it, you know. So, growing up, he would be playing me everything. You know what I'm saying? From Big to Pac to Buster to Tribe Called Quest to everything, and mainly East Coast
Yeah,
stuff, right? Like mainly that's why my ear now is it gravitates more to the East Coast sound. You know, just naturally. Hove, right? Like just
yeah,
naturally, this is the things I would grow up listening to. Method Man, Redman, like these are the guys I would grow up listening to. So I've always been around it, and this is just a son trying to be like his dad, right? Like I wanted to be a part of the music somehow, some way, and it didn't turn into a real thing until I got to college, because that's when I actually got a microphone from the homie, and I started recording and doing things myself, and he was like, "Oh man, you lit, like you dope, right?" And I mean, it's almost I look at it now. I equate it to an amateur fighter just starting to fight, right? You know, you got your trainer in your ear. Hey, you're gonna be champion of the world one day. You're gonna be the champ of the world one day. Even though he's an amateur, he don't really know what he's doing, but he could see something. He could hear something in me, and it gave me the confidence to keep going, right?
yeah,
So yeah, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be sitting right here doing what I'm doing now, right? So I'm forever grateful for it, and that's where it all started, man. Legion of Doom is where it started. So I'm just trying to take the baton and take it as far as I can, and like you said, keep the lineage going and keep it up, man.
yeah. That's such an incredible story, such a special story too, man. It really is.
A hundred
Uh,
percent.
I don't know if you have this in your discography, but have you and your pops ever collaborated on a track?
That was a thing that people will bring up a lot, right? And so we have it. The joint is called Perfect Moment. It's not on Rookie of the Year. It's the project before that, called it's up here called Color of Dope.
Color Dope,
So
yeah.
it's the last Color of Dope is it's the last record on the project, and it's me and my pops finally together. We finally got one because everybody, when you gonna do a song with your dad? When you gonna do a song with yourself? Finally, we got one in, so it's called Perfect Moment, man. So that's the record. I know people could constantly ask about that. Like, you got to get one with your dad. When you gonna get one with your dad? So we finally, yeah. So it's called Perfect Moment. It's the last record on the Color of Dope project. So it
That's
it was
dope.
that was a special moment, man. I had a listening party for it. We got to get on stage and perform it together. That's something that I always remember and I always cherish. You know, that was a very, very dope moment, very full circle moment for me. So it was cool. Appreciative of it for sure.
Yeah. That's so special. So, and I listened to the album, but I didn't know that that's what that song was. So I'm gonna go back and listen to it like completely with different ears now.
Third verse, yeah, perfect moment. That's him on the third verse. So it's me the first two verses, then it's him on the last verse. So it was a, like I said, it was a special moment, man. It's something that I'm gonna cherish for sure.
Yeah.
Memory I'll cherish for sure.
You know, talking about special moments, you've had many of them. You've done, and this is the thing when you've got like the 10,000 hours because you grew up hip hop. You're at a high caliber as an MC that is probably higher. It's like when people punch above their weight. You know what I'm saying? You're at a higher level than the discography. You've got a dope discography, but your level's crazy, and it's gotten you to places like Hot 97. You know what I'm saying? And Sway in the Morning. Talk to us about those experiences of being on those major. I mean, that's as big as it gets. Those are the biggest radio platforms. Sirius XM, Hot 97 in New York. Talk to us about that.
Those were both special, special moments, man. Seven joint was Rosenberg. I sent him a joint during the whole George Floyd incident that took place. So they were asking for some songs almost to the feel of fight the power type energy, right? So I sent that joint in. I sent this joint in called Freedom. He heard it and immediately he was like, "Yo, email me that." Right? So he shot me his personal email. So then he played it on Hot 97. That was crazy, right? I rushed home. I was working at Home Depot at the time. I rushed home. I was like, "Yo, I gotta hear this." It was crazy, man. And then the Sway joint, they had a segment called Get in the Game, I believe it's called, right? Where they play records from artists and they have fans call in from around the country. You know, either put them in the game or keep them on the bench, AKA it's nice or it's whack,
Yeah,
and I have people from all over the country calling in, man. New York, Colorado, Texas, Arkansas, Florida, like everywhere, like, yo, who is this? This dude is nice. So that to me was all validation. All those moments really were for me though, to be honest, was this validation, like, okay, man, what you doing something right and you on to something here. You know what I'm saying? And it just motivated me to keep going. Like, oh, this is you you got something here now. You got people from around the country who don't know who the hell you are
yeah,
calling like, yo, dude is nice. Dude is real nice. You know what I'm saying? So that made me like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, we gonna go even harder now. So those are special moments for sure. Once again, like I can't forget those. All those moments are moments that I will remember forever, and they're all pivotal in their own way. So I'm appreciative of them, man, and it just motivates me to go harder
what was
for
the
sure.
track for the Sway joint? What was the track they were voting on?
The track that caught everybody's ear was "Bring Me Peace." Let my purpose. The joint is called "Bring Me Peace." It was off the Black Hoodie Music Project, but I had to take it down for several reasons. But the "Bring Me Peace" track, I re-uploaded it, so it's back up. It's available everywhere. "Bring Me Peace" was the track that caught everybody's attention. Even Conway the Machine from Griselda was on the call too. So he was listening in on it too, right? He co-signed it too. So it was a special moment. But it was Bring Me Peace and another joint I got called Tatis out here. So and that's real big out here in San Diego, right? I mean, Padres, Tatis is the guy out here, so that joint rings off too. But Bring Me Peace was the main joint that had mad people from everywhere calling in, right? I looked at my phone. I got like 200 followers in like an hour. You know what I'm saying? It was great. It was a great moment. It felt good. So I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where it's just another stone in the journey, right? Another step in the journey. But
Yeah,
it was a great moment.
yeah. And there's another moment that's the performance at the Apollo in Harlem, right? Talk to us about that.
Crazy, man. That was crazy. That was So that came about. Actually, my mom signed me up for that. I had no
Oh
idea,
wow.
right? I had zero idea. I had no idea. I got this email from the Apollo, like the Apollo Theater. I'm like, okay, I've heard of Showtime at the Apollo. I'm thinking it's spam or something like
Right.
that, though. I'm like, this can't
This
be
ain't
real.
real.
Yeah, this can't be real, you know. And then my mom ended up telling me, like, nah, man, like I signed you up. I sent in because I had did a radio show out here in San Diego, jamming 95.7.
Yeah.
It was like a live show that I did out here. I did like a little freestyle, did a little, you know, a couple bars. She sent that in. I don't even know how long later they shot me an email saying I've been selected. So I'm like, oh, like looking it up online, amateur night at the Apollo, and I start seeing like all these videos of these like I'm talking Erica Badu
Yeah.
or not Erica Badu, excuse me, Lauren Hill. Man, list
Everybody.
goes on and on.
Everybody.
Everybody who's anybody has touched that stage, right? So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I get over there, fly over there, man. Thankfully I got family out there, so I stayed with family out there. We did the show. I was nervous as hell, man. I didn't know at the time we got there. They had rehearsals, right? So you know, at the Apollo, like amateur night at the Apollo, you can have multiple things. You can have a dancer, comedian, singer,
Yeah.
rapper, magician, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was all singers, and I was the only rapper. It
Wow.
was all singers. And so you know, man, like you've seen these shows, like it's tough when you competing against a singer and you got a rapper, like it's real hard to go with the rapper over the singer, right? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? In a competition aspect.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, damn.
You're like, man, they put me on this day?
And they all sing good.
Right.
Like they all really good except for like one, one or two, right? So
You're
I'm like,
like, put me right
yeah.
after that one.
So I'm like, yo, so I'm not gonna get last. Like, okay, I know I'm gonna be better than her and her. All right. So then they start going, and then the two singers that I thought weren't good, they were like the first ones to go. And I noticed like nothing was happening. Like nobody, the fans were just clapping. You know what I'm saying? And the MC for the night was like, yeah, just so y'all know, y'all can't boo no minors out here. You know, this is these first two are the minors. So I'm like, oh wow. So basically they X'd out of the whole thing. So like the two young ones was like, I think it was like 16, 17. So you couldn't boo them, right?
That's
So
crazy.
so like nah, they safe. They in the safe zone because they're young. I'm 22 at the time, right? So I'm 22. So I'm the first one up. And he's like, all right, man. So now we get
No.
into the gritty, right? And they play the music for the Sandman. And I'm thinking at amateur night, I'm thinking, oh, they only do that for the TV joint with Steve Harvey. Like they don't have the Sandman for all the amateur
Right.
night. They started playing the Sandman, and it's like they play the music, like, yo, if he's booing, he's trash, we're gonna sweep him off stage, all that. And I'm backstage trying to remember my lines. I'm like, oh man, like I'm trying, you know, I get out there, I rub the stump. I remember getting on stage, man, and you could hear a pin drop. Like it was so quiet. But I think I was so nervous and I was so like scared that I started getting angry. Like I was like on stage, like, yo, and I think I truthfully to this day believe I made it through my whole set. I didn't get booed. Right? I got cheers at the end. And to me, that was a win,
Yeah.
right? I truly, to this day, believe the reason why I didn't get booed was because they felt the passion. I was feeling everything I was saying, right? Even if they didn't necessarily feel the song. And at the time, you know, it was whatever. Right? I'm 22, but they could see like, oh, this kid is passionate. You know what I'm saying? What he's doing on the stage, he's getting everything he got right now. He's 110%. You know, so. And there was people that enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I seen some people in the corner over there. They were kind of waving their hand like, I will go over to this corner over there. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because if you type in Ray Riley at the Apollo, it's on YouTube. I got a clip. And like I said, you can hear a pin drop. But my pops and my family's there. And you can hear my dad. And after every line, all you hear is, yeah, yeah, like after every line. So it's hilarious, man. It's definitely a moment I will never forget. But I say all that to say, I know it was a long story. But I say all that to say, I made it through the whole set, right? And to me, that was a win.
Yeah.
I think I ended up getting like fifth place out of like seven people or six. I don't even know what. I didn't care though. I was like, man, I made it through my whole set. This was crazy. I just did Showtime at the Apollo. You know, like you said, man, it ain't this the biggest of the biggest stars was on that stage, and I was on that stage too.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a win for me, man. I will never forget that. That's for something I will never forget for sure.
Yeah. What an incredible story. What an incredible experience. That's dope.
And that's what I compare everything now to. I mean, that was roughly like 6 years ago, right? And now when I come and do these shows, I'm like, man, like I did Showtime at the Apollo, man. Like,
Yeah.
didn't nobody know who I was. Nobody know who the hell Ray Riley was. And you know how it goes. If you whack, you whack. Like they're not gonna be like, oh, he's trying
They're
hard. Like,
not shy. Yeah. No
nah, they're
trophy
not
for second
shy.
place.
It's no participation trophies out here.
Yeah.
If you whack, get off stage, bruh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying? So
Harlem. It's Harlem.
it's the mecca of hip hop, right? So
Yeah.
it's like to me that was the win. I made it through my whole set and I didn't get booed. Like that's a win,
Yeah.
So that another moment, another pivotal moment that I'm like, yo, this is another stepping stone on the journey
Yeah.
that I'll never forget. That's
Yeah.
important. So
Yeah.
100%, man. Showtime with the Apollo, that was a crazy one for sure. Yeah.
That's dope. And putting on for San Diego and for San Diego hip hop. Um, can you talk to us about, what the scene? Because there's some spitters in San Diego, to include yourself, right? But Boo Boo the Prince and Sham Black, and there's a movement out there. Can you talk to us about the San Diego hip hop scene?
A lot, a lot of guys out here, man. I don't even want to name them because I
Right,
know I'm gonna forget some
right,
of
right.
them.
You can't forget. I can name them, but you
Nah,
can't because
yeah,
you'll leave people out.
exactly, not exactly. So and you name two of them, right? There's a lot of guys out here that can really get busy, man. There's a lot of artists out here that I really respect. And like I said, it goes back to that whole competition aspect. Like iron sharpens iron. I see artists working out here. I see artists that I really view as, oh, this person is dope. This person's dope. And it makes me want to go harder and get after it even more. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, like I see so and so working. I see so and so getting to it. It's time to pick it up. It's time to get to it. So the San Diego hip hop scene, man, there's a lot of hidden gems out here, right?
Yeah,
So it's just a matter of really, to me, man, it's just a matter of collaboration, right? We all just got to work together. Deserves to be on the map, like
yeah,
you go to certain areas and they're gonna ride for their artists, right? Like I always use the analogy all the time or the comparison all the time. You go to the Bay Area, man, you're gonna hear Bay Area people bumping nothing but Bay Area artists and
yeah,
riding hard for their artists, right? And that's the area that I noticed that, and I use that as an example because I noticed that area a lot when they do that. And I have a lot of friends out there who, Bay Area artists all day,
yeah,
and so that's something that needs to be cultivated out here, and we got to have that same type of energy and support for the people out in Dago. I mean, LA is something that LA is like a creative hub, right?
yeah.
You got so many creatives and so many artists out there, and it's amazing for collaboration. So San Diego, we working on trying to pick it up and catching up to all these areas. San Diego deserves it.
Yeah.
There's so many talented individuals out here. It's just a matter of just putting it on display for the world to see.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. You mentioned that you've been releasing um a lot of taking the approach of doing a song and a release like every month, and releasing it and then doing the videos, or if not video, social media videos, and having short format content. Can you talk to us about what's coming next?
Is is more there's more work, man. More work, more the same, right? Projects are on the too, right? As these singles are coming out, I'm also keeping in mind putting out a project towards the end of the year as well. But it's just more of the same, more work, there's more consistency, putting out more music, month by month, more content, right? And just continuing to build awareness, right, and bring awareness to the Ray Riley brand, to Ray Riley, who he is, what he's about, who is this guy,
The double
where is he from?
R.
Exactly. Where is he from? What does he represent? Who is he? So that's really what it is, man. It's really just trying to grow as an art space, not only um well, right? And so just so when I say that, I'm saying just trying different things, trying this, like I said before, it's throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what works and what don't work. Uh what we've done has got us to this point. So of it. But if we want to take it to a different level, we got to continue to, um,
Yeah,
So that's what it is right now, man. And we're just gonna continue to work, continue to see what works and what don't work, and just continue.
that's dope, bro. That's dope. My brother, if we start to wrap up, you dropped so many gems on us. Everything from, talking about discipline and grit and, what motivates you and giving us a behind the scenes on so many of your albums and what you're doing right now. Any last gems you want to drop?
I mean, shoot, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, man. As far as the gems go, I mean, I really not gonna say nothing that isn't already known.
Yeah,
For anybody that wants to get in this space, I would just say the consistency is everything. I mean, regardless who you are, um, is right. Consistency trumps all of it. Hard work, like you said, hard work takes talent outside and takes his lunch money. You
every
know what I
day.
mean? So exactly. So that's what it is, man. So yeah, that's the gem. Really, is just consistency. And that's what I'm gonna keep doing. I'm gonna keep staying. We're gonna see how it shakes, man.
Yeah, bro. That's dope. My brother, it's an honor to have you on the Cristopolis show. I can't wait to hear the joint you're dropping at the end of the month. Your discography is incredible, and I know that you're going all the way to the top, my bro.
For having me. This was dope, man. I'm always down to chop it up about music, man. I love it, man. So I appreciate you for having me on here, man. Really, I really do.
Thank you, my brother. Salute.